What would you do if you lost someone so young, so full of life, someone with so much potential? Just imagine the pain of losing a child, a loved one, in a situation no one could foresee. This is a reality that the Gardner family is facing after the tragic death of Miller Gardner, the 14-year-old son of former New York Yankees player Brett Gardner. And the worst part, he passed away unexpectedly while on vacation with his family in Costa Rica. This case shocked the sports world and all who knew the family. On March 27th, during the 2025 season opener, Yankee Stadium became the site of an emotional moment that united fans and players in a single tribute. And there's a detail that could change everything we know so far. Stick with me until the end, because the new details of this tragedy will surprise you. But before we continue, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any important updates from the sports world. You'll be surprised by the stories we bring here, and your subscription really helps our channel grow. In the season opener, the New York Yankees were not just preparing for another season, but also for a unique moment of tribute. The game against the Milwaukee Brewers was marked by a moment of complete silence when everyone present in the stadium, players, coaches, and fans, paid their last respects to Miller Gardner. Before the first pitch, a deep silence fell over the stadium as everyone waited to hear the national anthem. It was in this moment that an image of Miller appeared on the big screen. The players, with their hands on their chests, and the audience, with their hearts heavy, paid tribute to a young man who had so much life ahead of him. The voice of the announcer echoed through the stadium, describing Miller as someone who had a spark in his eyes, an outgoing personality, and a warm and loving nature. He grew up within the world of the Yankees, with his father, Brett, being one of the most beloved figures in the history of the team. Miller was not just the son of the famous player. He also lived and breathed the Yankees culture, even becoming a two-sport athlete, playing football wearing his father's number 11 jersey. But this tribute was not just a moment of mourning. It also made us reflect on how life can change overnight. It wasn't just a tribute to a young man. It was a reminder that we are all subject to the unpredictability of life. Miller's passing was unexpected, and there are still many unanswered questions. What exactly happened? Initially, authorities in Costa Rica claimed that the cause of death was asphyxiation, possibly due to food poisoning, since the entire Gardner family fell ill after eating at a local restaurant. However, this diagnosis was quickly ruled out, leaving everyone without answers. The investigation into what caused Miller's death is ongoing, but some information has already come to light, making this case even more intriguing. When authorities arrived at the hotel where the family was staying, they found Miller with vomit in his mouth and nose. However, after examining his body, they found no obstruction in his airways. This raises a series of new questions about what really happened that night. But what exactly caused the boy's death? The mystery continues. And now, tell me, what do you think might have happened? Could a simple contaminated meal have triggered something even more serious? Or is there something more behind this story? If you have any theories or guesses about this situation, leave them in the comments below. I'm curious to know your opinion on all of this. It's a situation that really affects all of us, and it's hard not to feel the weight of this loss. The pain the Gardner family is experiencing is unimaginable. Brett Gardner, who dedicated his entire career to the New York Yankees, is now facing the loss of his son. The pain is even greater when we know that the team and the city of New York have always been an extension of Brett's family. The Yankees are not just a team to him, they are a second home. And this tragedy has not only affected the family, but the entire organization, friends, and all those who followed Brett's career over the years. Miller's love for his parents, family, friends, and life is something that will be forever remembered, not only in the memories of his loved ones, but also in the history of the Yankees. Brett's wife, Jessica, is also facing a loss that is impossible to describe. She, along with Brett, has been part of the Yankees family for many years. And this mourning is not just Brett's, but that of everyone who knew the family. What makes this situation even more heartbreaking is the fact that they have no clear answers about what happened. The grief is made worse by the uncertainty, by the lack of explanations for what caused the boy's death. They said in a statement that they were full of questions and without answers about the incident. And what's even more striking is that Despite everything, the family continues to receive unwavering support from the Yankees organization. When the team announced Miller's death in a social media post, they made sure to highlight that the pain of the family was not just Brett's, but of an entire organization that saw their children grow up. They wrote, "Words feel insignificant and insufficient to describe such an unimaginable loss." And this reflects how much Brett and his family's story is part of the very soul of the Yankees. The New York Yankees have yet to make any significant moves to improve the third base position, but to say that this spot is completely off their radar would be a mistake. Although the team has made major changes this offseason, especially after losing superstar Juan Soto in free agency, third base remains one of the big questions the Yankees need to address. Even with 4 former All-Stars acquired, and a defense significantly improved in several areas, the team has still not found a definitive solution for this position. During the offseason, the Yankees brought in some big-name players and made solid investments, but the lack of a standout player at third base could be a vulnerability for the team. While Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza, and DJ LeMahieu are interesting options to occupy the position, it's possible that none of them will establish themselves as a quality starter by the trade deadline in July. If that happens, it would be completely expected for the Yankees to seek someone with more experience and a proven track record, someone who can really solve the problems at this critical position. The third baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals is undoubtedly one of the best defenders in the position and has an impressive resume, 8 All-Star selections and 10 Gold Gloves. But what makes Arenado such an attractive option for the Yankees, in addition to his defensive talent, is his ability to add a consistent offensive presence. However, he also has his issues, especially regarding his offensive performance in recent years. Even with these fluctuations at the plate, Arenado remains a key piece for any team that wants to significantly improve defensively and strengthen their lineup. Recently, Rowan Cavner from Fox Sports predicted that the Yankees could acquire Arenado by the trade deadline. Cavner highlighted that with the Yankees and the Orioles within striking distance of the division lead, both teams are likely to make strategic moves to pull ahead. The prediction is that if Arenado continues his strong start to the season, he could be the piece the Yankees need to fix their third base problem. Arenado is returning to a promising early season, and the Yankees hope he can correct the offensive problems they've been facing, wrote Cavner. At the beginning of the offseason, the idea of bringing in Arenado seemed almost certain. He was seen as a logical choice for the Yankees, as the team needed a big-name player to address their third base issue. But things changed slightly when Arenado had a disappointing year. Although he remains an exceptional defender, his offensive production dropped, causing many teams, including the Yankees, to shy away from the trade. Additionally, Arenado's contract, which still has $64 million remaining over the next 3 years, complicated the situation, as many teams hesitate to take on that amount given his performance last season. Still, the Yankees continue to be consistently mentioned as a potential trade partner for the Cardinals. This is something that could change quickly, especially if Arenado continues to show signs of recovery. On opening day, he already hit a home run, which is a good indication that his offensive game is returning to the level many expect of him. If this trend continues, and the Yankees still need a reliable upgrade at third base, a trade with the Cardinals could become a reality sooner than expected. For the Yankees, who already have a talented base in many other positions, third base is one of the few areas still lacking stability. If Arenado can find his rhythm at the plate, and the Yankees are still unsatisfied with the performance of their current players at the position, it seems increasingly likely that both sides could come together for a trade that benefits both parties. The Yankees would need a player who contributes both defensively and offensively, and Arenado has all the tools to do that. And what do you think about this? Will the Yankees finally take this step and try to bring Arenado into strengthened third base? Or will the team wait a bit longer to see if their current players can establish themselves in the position? Leave a comment and share your thoughts on this potential trade. I'd love to know what you think about this situation and whether you believe this trade would be good for the Yankees' future. What is clear is that, regardless of whether or not the team pursues Arenado, third base will remain a position of need for the Yankees. Whether or not this trade happens, the next few months will certainly be decisive for the team's future, and the decision the Yankees make will have a big impact on their season. And who knows, if the Yankees manage to make this addition, perhaps that will be the missing piece to finally put the team on the right path to a title. Let's wait and see what happens.